How y'all doing tonight? No, it's not a dog. No, it's not a teddy bear. It's my baby goat. So, how this came about is I had two baby goats in the past month that froze to death because they were too young and, well, they just froze. So, this one here I brought inside tonight, but it's supposed to get really cold. And tomorrow's supposed to be like 50 something degrees. And depending on what the weather says for tomorrow night, depends if she comes back in the house or not. But as of right now, as you can see, she's sound asleep in my lap. It's like a little bitty lap dog. And yeah, I fed her a bottle. I had some colostrum, I think is how you pronounce it. And it was a full bottle, and that right there is what she's eating out of it, where my finger's at right there. So she's, let's see, it's a 10-ounce bottle, so she's eating about 7 3/4 ounces. So, well, she ate about 2 3/4 ounces, I mean. So she's nice and somewhat belly full, and she's sound asleep. If she was a kitty, I imagine she'd be purring right now. But yeah, she's sound asleep. Not burning people I know can say you got baby goats in your house in wintertime, so I figured I'd take this time to share my baby. Of course, you see my big old fat roll right here. She's laying on top of that. She's happy-go-lucky. So, but other than that, of course you can't see on my face, but it's alright. You already know how ugly I am anyway. We go maybe sometime this weekend or next week, file some taxes and stuff early. So I think it's the 21st is when they send it to the IRS. So probably by mid-February, maybe closer to the end of February. Excuse me. Somewhere between February and March, we'll get our refund. And once we do, I'll be having a tree cutter guy come in here and cut out some trees. Now, let me move this camera. I don't like talking. Half my face showing. It's going to bounce a little bit. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. Turn this little lock key. Oop, there it goes. But, I know I woke you up. So, like I was saying, somewhere between late February, early March, we'll get a refund. And I'll have my tree guy come in here. I got a bunch of trees in the front I'm going to cut out down to nothing. I got 3 trees in the back I got to cut out. I got one on the corner side of the house I want to cut out. And then I got one out here in the side of the front yard. Definitely has to come out because it's dead. I'm not sure if it's rotted all the way through or, still kind of solid in the trunk but just dead on the outside. But it's going to come down, and I'm going to have all that wood sectioned up and cut up for firewood. And of course, after all that's taken place, we're gonna nose itches, and I got one hand, so you gotta bear with me. But after all that's said and done, in between where the chicken coop is and my shed, I'm gonna put a smokehouse. It's gonna be 12 foot long, 8 foot wide, and 8 foot tall. And I thought about using cedar plank for the outside of it. And because I can get cedar planks really cheap around here, because on Facebook Marketplace there's all kinds of people around here got different width, size boards and everything else. So I'm leaning towards a cedar wall around it for the smokehouse. And this one other fellow was like, he goes, "Why don't you use white oak on the inside and cedar on the outside?" And I told him, I said, well, I kind of would like to have the cedar, excuse me, because I plan on doing a lot of fish in the smokehouse. And you go to any place that sells grills, and they got them big old planks of cedar to put your fish on, put them in the grill. And I figure, if I do a great big one, this most everything I'm gonna put in that smokehouse is gonna be fish anyway. Chances of me having red meat in the smokehouse is really slim to none, because I'm not a real big. I'll eat it, but I'm not fond of it. Is the red meat, and a good steak is a good steak's a steak, but I would much rather eat fish than I would red meat. And the older I get, the more I've been leaning to is eating more fish. And I've cut red meat, I wouldn't say out of my diet, but it's pretty low. Now, if we could get some good cheese, a block cheese made, or buy one, put in there and smoke it real good, yeah, I might do that too. Of course, cedar planks and and that's inside of it might make cheese kind of taste kind of crappy, but you never know till you try. Now, after we get the smokehouse started, me and my stepdad's gonna start building a kind of like a barn for the goats on the side yard area over there, and we're gonna do that probably April, May, somewhere around there. As far as everything, as far as his health goes, and he's able to do it, we're gonna do that. I do know that we're gonna tear off the old back porch and we're gonna replace it with a lot better structure. I'm gonna close it, put a better flooring in it. It's not gonna have decking flooring. It's actually gonna have like a home flooring. I'm gonna put insulation vats on between the frame and the ground for insulation. I'm gonna put some styrofoam insulation between the walls, so that way of course, I'm not expecting it to be no hot house or anything when it's winter time, but at least when you walk on the back porch, it's gonna be cold, but you're not gonna freeze your ass off. And then in the summertime, I'm thinking about putting some windows, like framing area, put some windows on the back porch with screen for them, so that way I can raise it up and get some good airflow. Because when the back porch is built, I got a Springer outside, off to the side. It's old-fashioned metal Springer for a full-size bed. Because once I get the porch built the way I want it, I'm gonna get me an old-fashioned metal bed and put it on the back porch and put that Springer. Oh, she's waking up. You stretchy? You licking your lips like you're hungry? You want some more food? Guess not. But like I was saying, I'm going to put a bed on the back porch with old-fashioned Springer, for like a full-size bed. And in the summertime, I guess I can sleep on the back porch, like I used to on the farm a long time ago. But no longer we're going to do that. I'm going to tear up all the bricks I put down 10 years ago across the side walkway, and I'm going to pull all them up, and we're going to put a large patio porch on the side of the house, and then I'm going to put an additional front porch piece on the front porch I have already, and then we're going to level out an area. I'm going to get a larger size above ground pool, and we're going to have the pool with the ladder coming off the other porch we're going to put onto it going into the pool, mainly just because I get tired of having the kids run across the yard, and it's supposed to how you're supposed to wash your feet off in a little bucket and climb in the pool and jump in. Half the time they don't do it, and there's grass and dirt and all kinds of other crap floating around. So we're going to do it different that way this year. And whatever's left over, we're going to ration our income tax unlike we have in the past. I got to calculate how much, I actually get the initial quote figure. I got to calculate the amount divided by 12 months, and that'll give me basically how much I can use monthly. And then on top of it, with her, the amount of money she makes monthly, we can still use her paycheck and like my paycheck for paying bills and everything else. I am going to send a double payment into my person I'm buying the place from, so I can drop my percentage down a little bit for my mortgage. And then on top of that, I'm going to pay off my trash bill for the year, which is about $300, because I send my trash bill with my house payment. So I'm going to pay off the trash bill, and then I'm going to make my regular house payment like I normally would. So therefore, I'm going to have about $300 something extra on top of my monthly house payment, plus a double payment. So that way I can start knocking down my mortgage percentage, and hope I can get it paid off in about 10 years. Because I signed a 30-year mortgage, and I've knocked out about 10,000 of it so far for the first 10 years. So I want to knock down even more and try to have it paid off in 10 years time, versus just doing your everyday kind of grind, paying bills and everything else. And plus I want to save money on top of that, so towards the end of the year, I'm not scratching my head and rubbing my ass trying to figure out how to pay the property tax and buying stuff for kids for Christmas and everything else. So this year, a lot of changes are about to take place financial wise, which most y'all don't care anyway, but I'm just telling you just because I'm telling you. But yeah, and then in the first part of April, we're going mushroom picking. So I'll be taking y'all with me doing mushroom picking. I'm taking a couple friends of mine with me on top of that, because they never been, and they like the morel mushrooms. And then on probably between May and June, there's a big old yellow root patch about where we go picking at. So putting the cap on the baby bottle. So look at her, she just sound asleep. Well, she might be awake now, but she's like a little lap dog. I love it. I wish she stayed this size and I could keep her in the house all the time, because I would. But yeah, we're going to do a lot of different things around the house this year. Upgrade it, make things a little bit easier on us. I'm going to tear up the old bathroom, replace a lot of things, repaint it. Because I made a promise to the wife a while back, a couple of years back or a few years back, that we would make it to more, the more where she likes it better. And because we don't have any storage here. We got closets and stuff, but it's cram-packed full, and we got stuff on top of stuff, and it's not like a hoarder house, but there's really no place to put anything, and that's why I want to redo the back porch, so I can take some of my cabinetry I have in my back bedroom, stick it out there, and that way it keeps it out of the element, and I can take some of my excess hunting stuff, and I can put it on the back porch and cabinetry, and I got to put a better door on the back porch besides the old metal swing door. But yeah, there's all kinds of things I'm going to change. And of course, the good thing about it is I sold my main buck I had. This is offspring. I'm leaning back in the rocking chair so you can see her. This is the offspring from the buck I sold a couple months ago. And now I got one buck from him. It's a little buckling. I kept him. That's why I sold the other one. And I'm going to keep him. Of course, I have to keep him and Mama separated at some point in time, because I don't need Junior mountain Mama. Of course, I don't think it really matters much in goats, but you never know. I don't need a two-headed goat or a four-eyed goat. But of course, then again, it is Kentucky, so it happens. But anyway, I think that's all I got to say. And of course, I did delete a video on there. I posted it about a week and a half ago, and I just said a bunch of stuff on there. And I don't think some of y'all like it too much, so I went ahead and deleted the video. And this is replacement video of the one I deleted, which I think the content's a lot better than what the other one was. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this, and y'all have a great Friday night, and I'll see y'all again soon. Hopefully I get baby here. She's zonked out completely. Every time I move, she wakes up. Of course, I gotta put her back in her little bed I made for her so I can go in there and start dinner. So, y'all have a good night, and I'll see you all again soon, hopefully.